Yes. Now we will start to conduct the practical. So we have to take some precaution is that our switch should be off anyway, and you should ensure that there is no loose wire is there in the practical. Okay. So this is our starter which we have discussed in the theory, and it has 3 terminal LAF. So the connection we have seen in the previous part of the practical. Now we will start the practical, isn't it? So now first of all we will switch on the voltage, supply voltage. So it is given that the voltage is 220 over there in the terminal of voltmeter. Okay, so it shows the terminal voltage is okay. Now slowly we will start the generator. Slowly we will start the motor as a here as a prime move. So before starting you have to take care that there should not be sparking over the contacts of the. Now we will check the speed. We want the speed should be constant up to 1500 rpm. Okay, so here it is 1460, 1458. So slightly speed is smaller. Now come to the rheostat which is connected in series with the field winding of motor. So by adjusting the rheostat, means by increasing the resistance, we can again maintain the speed. We will again check the speed is. Now see here it is 1498. So it is almost 1500 volt is there, 1500 rpm is there. Now look at this voltmeter. This voltmeter is connected across the armature. You will find that even though our switch is on, switch is off, some voltage, how much voltage is there? Around 15 volt is there. So when the field current is 0, 15 volt is there. This is nothing but the residual voltage. This residual voltage will make the motor self-starting, isn't it? Now what we will do, we will switch on the this switch S is there which is shown in the diagram. As soon as we switch on this one, we will find that there is some voltage is going to induce in the voltmeter. So here there is a voltage is there. Now as we decrease the resistance, so voltage is go on increasing. So here the voltage is gone increasing, you will show, and somewhere it become saturated. So even increasing the voltage, even increasing the field current, the voltage does not increase. So this is the saturation curve. Saturation curve comprises of no load, residual voltage is there, and once we take the increase the field current, your terminal voltage across the generator get increases. So it will give the rising characteristic, and it is the open circuit characteristic or saturation characteristic of DC shunt generator. Now what we will do, we will stop here because we have to change the connection to find out the internal and external characteristic. So we will just switch off the machine over. Start. Now the second part. In the second part what we have done, we have disconnected the field winding from external source, and it will make a DC shunt generator by connecting field winding in parallel with the armature through rheostat. Now once the motor gets started, we have keep the speed constant 1500 as usual. So we found that the terminal voltage, no load voltage is 200. Now we want to increase the rated voltage 220, isn't it? So by varying this rheostat in the field, again we have make it to the 220, 210 volt exactly. So under this condition the current is 0. Load current is 0. Here the load current is 0, isn't it? And load is 0. Now the second step is that as soon as we increase the load, we have increased the load by switching on the supply, there is a current, so that is a armature current is there. Now armature current is there, we found that the voltage has been decreased. Voltage has been decreased from 270 to the 255 is there, isn't it? So we can, instead of this one, first what we will do, we will make is 230 volt. So by decreasing this excitation, we have made, say, no load voltage is 230 volt, isn't it? No load voltage is 230, current is 0. By switching on one load, the voltage has been decreased to 225. It is around 225 is there, and armature current is there, isn't it? Again we will increase the second load. This is one load is there. Now we will switch on the second load. So we have increased the load. Again the voltage has been decreased from 220, isn't it? And the current has been increased to 1.25 ampere, isn't it? Similarly, in the third case, When we increase the load, again when we increase the load over there, the voltage get decreases. It's around 200 volt, and whereas the current is 2.5 ampere. So by this way, we have found that the internal and external characteristic. External characteristic is the terminal voltage versus armature current is the external one. But we cannot calculate the armature resistance, we cannot calculate the armature reaction drop, but we are able to calculate the armature resistor drop. So we have taken the armature resistance from here by calculating the armature drop, and if you subtract the armature drop, definitely we are able to draw the internal and external characteristic of DC shunt generator. This is the total entire procedure, observation table and practical conduct of first practical is the saturation, internal external characteristic of DC shunt generator.